Good morning, Swami.
Good morning, Ranga-san. Ohayou gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu.
Sir, we have 1 more minute.
Can I start?
Yes, Ranga-san.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining me today on my presentation of Philately of Japan on the topic Festivals of Japan. Okay. Please permit me to share my PowerPoint. I request the host to enable me to do screen sharing. Mr. Bhupalan?
Sir, done, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Give me a minute. Let me just. As you all aware, this year happens to be the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Japan and India, which happened in the year 1952. We have been celebrating the 50th, 60th, and now the 70th year. For the 70th year, we are planning to have 50 different themes on Japan, and we are trying to take that through the Japanese stamps to people. It is not only about the stamp, the story behind it, the culture behind it, the history behind it. Every stamp tells a story, and I'm trying to bring the story of every stamp with a mixture of some philately of the stamp plus the cultural aspect of it. Thank you all very much for watching. Now, this is theme 5, so it's a Japanese festival through some Japanese stamps. If you know, Japan has got countless matsuris. There are a lot of local festivals. You know, there are 47 prefectures, therefore, there are 47 prefectures. They have their own gods, and also Shinto is there, Buddhism is there, all religions are there. So there are a number of festivals are there, and every shrine in every village, every prefecture has got their own matsuri or festival they celebrate. Most festivals are held annually and celebrate the shrine's deity or the god of the shrine, because Shinto, the native religion of Japan, also believes like us on gods, and therefore there is a seasonal or a historical event that takes place every year. Some festivals are held for not even one day, but more than one day also there. These festivals make Japan a lot more beautiful and attractive for people all over the world wanting to be in Japan during these festival seasons. I'm one of them. Anytime there's a festival, I look into the calendars and try to match my visit along with the festival days so that I could be there, taking my camera and going there. An important element of Japanese festivals are the big processions in which the shrine's kami or the god is carried on a mikoshi, palanquin. நம்ம ஊர்ல சொன்னா தமிழ்ல சொன்னா பல்லக்குன்றாங்க. அந்த மாதிரி அவங்க இதுல வந்து they carry the god on a palanquin, which is called mikoshi, and that's the only time of the year when the kami leaves the shrine and the kami is being carried around the town. Festivals are also known as matsuri in Japanese, or very steeped in tradition, offering visitors a glimpse of Japanese culture that you won't find at any part of any museum. This you have to feel it, see it, and be a part of it. You should pulse yourself along with the festival vibrations. What makes traditional festivals in Japan particularly special is the fact that many of them are perfectly preserved customs that have been passed down through the generations. Okay, so even though you may see every festival being done by a lot of youngsters enthusiastically participating, many festivals have got more than 1,000 years of history behind them. It also helps that many Japanese people are still actively involved in these festivals. They are still deeply important community gatherings. It's a big teamwork that you can see that makes them worth seeing and participating. Japanese basic cultural trait is harmony. This harmony is reflected during the matsuri, the community organized, very well organized events. Matsuri, the festival, are often spectacular, filled with color, exuberance, and tradition. I went along with my friend Gopal for seeing the 3 big festivals of the northern Tohoku area, which also had big problems of 3 major disasters that took place in 2011. And that's a time I went there to watch 3 festivals. Japan has perhaps more unique festivals than any other country in the world. Each one is different. Each one is done with a lot of fun and enthusiasm. And it's an unforgettable experience for me and my friend Gopal. I was amazed not only with the festival, but the participation level of the community as a whole. Right from school children. If you see on the left-hand side, you have the children of the local school, Hawamori. They have come there. The children are making origami. They are standing there. Every visitor who comes on the day, their school principals, teachers and students, they stand there, give everybody a origami sample and ask them to visit. And in Akita, when we went, the Japan Railway staff, they were singing and dancing, especially the ancient Enka, which they call as welcome, with what we call as Omote Nashi, the spirit of hospitality. So it is not only the people in the festival who participate, outside also the entire community participates in the festivals. To see Japan, it's liveliest. The high energy Matsuri is the place to see and feel. The celebrations themselves are widely depending on the occasion, but almost always involve spirited processions of participants vigorously chanting, dancing, and carrying massive and intricately decorated portable shrines and floats. Now, festivals in Japan are also one of the best places to sample incredible array of unique, casual, and seasonal Japanese foods. To the surprise of many, street foods are not very prevalent in Japan, like many other Asian countries. But in Matsuri time, you will find the streets filled with all these small food stalls called yatai and offering remarkable selection of snacks. They are fun-filled, challenging games are also for all ages, for small, big, everybody. They also have some games around the place. Japan Post commemorated these different festivals by releasing a stamp for each these, either as a single stamp or a large stamp sheet or satin, and that is two stamps together joined at the perforation, satin and stamp set, stamp paints, souvenir sheet, mini sheets, booklet paints, and full-size stamp sheets, which is a large stamp sheets, what I have indicated. These sheet designs are also varying as much as their size. To start with, in 1962, Japan started the festival series with 4 children's festival with a stamp size of 26 by 30 millimeter size, 4 stamps printed in multicolor with printed by photogravure with comb perforations, that is the small dot thing that you see around the stamp, and it makes it easy for you to stand and take an individual stamp out, or because they're all stuck in one sheet, and the comb size is normally 13.5 by 13. The next series after the small series of 26 by 30 was 26 by 43. You can see the one above is 23 by 30. The bottom one is either horizontal layout or a vertical layout. It's 26 by 43 in multicolor and also printed in photo gravure with the comb perforation. Ordinarily, there is a gum at the back, but as to say, and the perforation is 13 by 13.5. Next, 4 satin stamps of size 23 by 37 millimeters were issued, printed in photogravure in multicolor and perforation comb of 12.25 into 30. That's the size at which the vertical and horizontal is there. The booklet pane was also released along with the stamps of size 26 by 30 with 10 stamps, with the outer edge being imperforated. You can see the one at the bottom. The perforation is only when 2 stamps are being connected. Outer edge is plain, and the perforation comb is 13.25. And printing photogravure and the gum was ordinary. They also changed the size to 36 by 26 on a fluorescent paper printing photogravure with ordinary gum and multi-color presentation, 13.5, like what you see this time. Booklet pen of 10 stamps of these outer edge imperforated on various themes, dragons, festivals were also released. In 1996, after 4 years, 26 by 36 millimeter stamp was printed on offset lithography. This is the first one that we see as an offset, but printed by offset lithography method and released, keeping the rest in line with the other parameters. For the first time under the regional prefectural, Japan has got 47 prefectures, like our states. So they were the prefectural stamps. And later on, most of the festival stamps have been shifted on to prefectural, which we'll show you a little down the line. From October 1996, printing by offset lithography was carried out, and the size was 26 by 36 mm, and the satin and pair was 52 by 36 mm. It was released with all sides perforated. Both offset lithography and photogravure were used for printing at different times. After 1990, regional festival stamps were shifted to prefectural issues and still finding place, and still they also find place under commemorative issues also. Now, these are some of the different sizes and designs. You can see they are called as mini sheets. Okay, even the mini sheets, there is a variation 76 by 210 as well as 102.5 by 210. This is smaller size 50 stamps. Okay, there are 20 stamps of 26 by 30. These are rectangular stamps. And then you can see this is again, this is normally used. The one on the left hand side is 93.5 by 175. Japan has been doing this particularly for the 60 years of legal acceptance of some legal process in the prefectures. Then established, Japan Post has become privatized from the government, I think. That has become a private Japan Post Corporation. At that time, they were used, they released this stamp. And there's only a few of this standard size. Japan has introduced various models that make collecting stamps very interesting. One you see like this, another one, and that's a full sheet that you can see there, 140.25 by 222.5 millimeters. And these are some other sizes. And within the same thing, you also have, you can peel and then paste the stamps, which is called, they call it a self-adhesive stamp. That's what I've shown in the second one. These are full-size stamps. They have the stamps horizontal, some are vertical, some are satin and without passage in between. So these are the different varieties that they have. Now let's look into the festivals per se in Japan. First festival is Daal Festival. One of the reasons why I am first starting with Daal Festival is this is the month of March, when in Japan they all celebrate the girls' festival, or what they call as Hina Matsuri. And if you can see on the right hand side, this is the Hina Matsuri that we celebrated. You can see the Hina dolls on the left hand side and our Indian style of dolls on the right hand side. So every year, March, we do that. So this year, March, we did that. After pandemic, this is the first time we opened up our center, and then we are extremely happy that His Excellency, the Consul General of Japan in Chennai, he personally visited and participated, and he enjoyed the children singing and dancing. And this is also called as a girls' festival. The Japanese dolls festival called Hina Matsuri, which takes place on March 3rd. Depending on the convenience, sometimes we also do at the nearest Sunday or Saturday, how people will be able to participate. So March 3rd is a normal day. And of course, ours is in the month of October or September that we get. Okay. It's also called as Dolls Day or Girls Day. On Hina Matsuri, Japanese families pray for the health, happiness, and prosperity of their young daughters. It is one of Japanese 5 seasonal festivals, or seku. These seasonal festivals are called seku. On this day, every year, families set up a special step ladder, what you see on the left-hand side, the red step ladder, on which to arrange the emperor and the empress dolls called the Hina in Japanese. And this was started when Empress Meisho promoted Hina Matsuri when she ascended to the throne in 1687. Craftsmen from all over Japan have been making Hina dolls, the beautiful Japanese dolls, for the event, and since then, and the tradition remains till today. In India also we have similar things, but we use a different material, and you see the Japanese dolls, they're very beautiful, and that talks about the Japanese craftsmanship that we. The second festival I would like to talk about is Anabata, or the Star Festival. This is also, you see the 10 is the value on the stamp, it's a 10 yen. Okay, today if you see about 117 yens make a dollar. So you can decide, okay, about 75 rupees a dollar, 117 yens become a dollar. You can say how much is the rupee per dollar. Okay. Now, this is a Star Festival conducted every year in the month of July. And this series called the theme under the series Folklore series. This is released on July 7th, 1962. Anabata meaning evening of the 7th, or it's also known as the Star Festival or Hoshimatsuri, is a Japanese festival originating from the Chinese QC festival. It celebrates the meeting of deities Orihime and Ikiboshi, operated as Star, Vega, and Alta. That is the princess who is a weaving prince and the shepherd boy. According to the legend, the Milky Way separated these lovers because the weaving prince's father did not agree for them to get married. And then, of course, seeing his daughter crying, one day he permitted on the July 7th for them to get together. Of course, in the olden calendar, it's slightly different. Now, I'll show that down the line. They were allowed to meet once a year on the 7th day of the 7th lunar month of the lunisolar calendar by their king, the father of the Orihime weaving princess. The date of Tanabata varies in region by region in the country. The first festivities began on 7th July of the Gregorian calendar, that's the present calendar, and the celebration held at various days between July and August. And you can see at the bottom right, there are a lot of wishes, especially boys and girls, they write and hang on the thing, thinking their wishes will be fulfilled by the god and goddess. Now, the next festival I'm talking, they're all the same size, all the four stamps, is the Shichigo-san 753 festival for 7, 5, and 3 years of age. This stamp was released and the seasons for folklore on November 15, 1962. Shichigo-san is a 753, that's a number, is a traditional rite of passage and festival day in Japan of the 3 and 7-year-old girls and 5-year-old boys, and sometimes 3-year-old boys also, and held annually on November 15. Celebrate the growth and well-being of young children. Shichigo-san is said to have originated in the Heian period among court nobles who could celebrate the passage of the children into middle childhood. The ages 3, 5, 7 are consistent with the East Asian numerology, Chinese, Japanese, everything, which holds that the odd numbers are lucky. On that day, you can see the children are very beautifully dressed like that, and then they are taken to the Shinto shrine by their parents, the father and mother of the child, takes the boy and the girl, and then they all receive some gifts. Okay, Chitoso Hame is thing in a bag that they, so you can see all of them carrying a bag, and its meaning is to celebrate the survival of children because in the past people have lost their children due to poor health conditions. Of course, today Japan has got one of the best medical facilities. That is why people even at the age of 80 plus or 100 plus are living in Japan. That's what Japan's medical science has been doing. Until the age 7, children were thought to be offsprings of gods in Japan. So this festival was held for them, 7, 5, and 3, the offsprings of gods in Japan. Now, next festival is Festival of Mame Maki. That is, Mame is bean. Mame Maki is like our red bean, like that. Mame Maki bean throwing festival. This stamp was released to commemorate this on the 3rd February 1963. Setsubon, it's called Setsubon, or the seasonal division represents the day, beginning of the spring, and celebrated as a part of the Harumatsuri Spring Festival on the 3rd of February. Mame Maki is quite similar this year. Normally, you can see a lot of people going to the shrine, and then when the bean is thrown, they all try to catch it and bring some home. But this year, because of, last year, because of COVID pandemic, they're all done at a very, very low key. And Mame Maki, though it is done in temples, people also do it in their homes. Mame Maki is quite similar to throwing rice customs after the wedding in Western culture, has been practiced since Muromachi period. It is said that the ritual purifies a home. During the particular practice, Oniwa Soto Fukuwa, which is what they shout. That means that the demon go out, the lucky one come inside, or as the demons outside, luck inside. They shouted and drive away the evil spirits and bring good fortune into the house. Okay. During the festival, during this, when it is done, normally it's the eldest son of the family who does that. And then there are people like you could see on the top, both the Mame and devil's mask is there. They wear the mask, they act as demon. When in the temples, there are people like that going around, seeing the children, and people collect the Mame that is thrown. Festival is expected to bring good fortune and good luck for the new year, as well as welcoming the spring in all our lives. Now there's a float festival. Japan has got a lot of floats like what we have in Hindu festivals. Of course, now even the churches, they have started falling in line with the Hindu customs, maybe to keep the faith expanded. So they also have now the very similar to our floats. So this is a common practice now to carry the god around in a float or a mikoshi. And then this stamp was released on the 15th April 1964. The splendid Yatai floats, it's called Yatai floats of Takayama, are only on the show during the Takayama Festival, which is held twice a year, spring and autumn. Takayama Festival considered to be one of the 3 finest in Japan. You can see the 10-yen stamp. Okay, in other parts of Japan, they are often known as dashi. Okay, dashi is namur dashi, assembling of all the 11 floats at the temple ground. Allows visitors to examine the decorations in close-up. Now, all this temple cards, the dashi, have beautiful carving and beautiful carpentry work, and then they also have lacquer work, and then grinding, stone carving, metal work, all that. Now, people even come around to look at them and watch them and admire the beautiful floats, how they have been made. So, and before they were all taken out, they're all assembled at the temple ground, all the 11 floats. And they speak of the monozukuri manufacturing excellence of craftsmanship of Japan. Monozukuri, as you all know, is in a simple translation, if you say, it's a manufacturing excellence, or the what we call in English as the craftsmanship of the artisans. And that's what is beautifully expressed and explained in the forming of all these floats. You can also watch performance by 2 mechanical puppets, what they call as karakuri ninyo, mounted on the float yatai. The puppets perform twice a day, controlled by 9 highly skilled puppeteers using a total of 36 skill cards during the 2 days of festival. And there are 2 dolls, like a Chinese boy and a girl, which are there. And there is a trapeze, and that's what everybody loves to watch, because these dolls will be so beautifully operated. You can see the boy and the girl dolls swinging on the trapeze and changing between trapeze. Now, we have the Gion Festival. Gion Festival is again a festival of Kyoto. Now, this stamp was released on 15th July. Gion Matsuri has a history dating back all the way to 869, when the emperor ordered prayers and festivities to be carried out at the Yasaka shrine, Yasaka Jinja. Jinja is shrine, and Otera is the Buddhist temple, in order to appease the gods and prevent plague from ravaging the city. The festival has been held annually since 1970, with floats from 1999. Since then, it has only been interrupted once for 33 years during the Onin Wars. So it had its roots as a purification ritual. Most of the things in Japan, the purification ritual is very important. The Gion Matsuri eventually became a way in which merchants and the wealthy citizens of Kamakura period could show off to their neighbors despite numerous incidents of damage by fire and war. The Gion festival has managed to recover every time. This festival takes the entire month. The Gion Matsuri is a festival of Yasaka Jinja, was founded in 1350. Look at the beautiful stamp, very beautiful design, and you can see the 3D effect of the temple at the back and the float coming in front. You can feel the difference between them as a 3D effect. It's a beautiful stamp again. Then we have a similar size stamp, but horizontal. You can see a lot of hearts and people mounted on them. This is called Fukushima Sumo Novomay Festival. The stamp was released on the 16th of July 1965. 4,000 years old, the Soma Numowoi is a celebration of martial skill and horse riding. After 2011, it has also become a symbol of resilience and survival, because you all remember 2011 was a triple disaster when they had a earthquake under the sea, which created a tsunami, earthquake, and also the nuclear disaster, the triple disaster. But Japan recovered and jumped back very quickly, because Japanese are known for the resilience, survival, and jumping back quickly. So after 2011, this has also become a symbol of resilience and survival of the people of Soma. Usually takes place in the last Saturday or Sunday and Monday in July, 3 days. The most important 3 events of this festival are the procession of horse riders in full samurai gear. The exterior samurai gear they wear and do, and then the main horse racing event and the horse capturing ritual. The 3-day festival takes in the Soma district, which has been for a long time, it has been a horse breeding region. And horse has already been, horse has always been a great friend, an animal which has supported the Japanese in all the things, especially when Japan, as you know, went through a number of wars, and most of them were horse riders. People going on horseback and using archery are very famous. Even at that galloping speed, they can hit a target very accurately with 100% precision. That is where the horseback warriors are very famous. So this began at a military exercise organized by the founder of the Soma clan. That is what this festival is about. Then we have the festival called the Chichibu Night Festival. Though it's very difficult to cover all the festivals of Japan under this one heading, I'm trying to pick up few of the important festivals and then try to explain about them. This stamp, again, a 10-yen stamp. So at that time, you can see only the numerical value 10 has been printed, not anything like yen. In our this thing, you can see all these rupees there. This stamp was released on 3rd December 1965. This has been annually held for over last 300 years, and records state that some of the parade floats were built between 1716 and 1736. Again, you can see the floats are there, and the Chichibu Night Festival takes place annually in December 2nd and 3rd. That's why 3rd December this is issued as a commemorative stamp, and is the final celebration of the year of the people of Chichibu. Chichibu is a place nearer to Tokyo, I would say, compared to other places. Historically, it took place once farming land finished for the farming, or the land was finished for the year, as a gathering firewood is coming for the winter. That's the time. The Chichibu Night Festival, if you see the floats are there, and they also have expandable or additional platform could be arranged. You can see as the second picture, in each float, even though you can see it, they suddenly expand. And then on the platform, in 4 of the different floats, they have this, the floats are called yatai. So yatai kabuki, the kabuki on the floats has been performed on the overhanging stage, or with additional stage pieces. That's the beauty of this. Now, this may not be called as a religious festival, neither a Shinto thing, but there was an international puppetry festival. Japan has been for a long time known for its puppets, beautiful puppets, and either the person goes inside the puppet, his hand goes inside the puppet and he operates, and many times you will see there's a black background and people with a black robes. They are the back. The idea is black robe person, though you can see, people think they are not to be seen at all. Once again, let me do this. Suddenly something comes. Once again, give me a minute. Yeah. So people in the black cannot be seen by the audience. So people with the black, they'll be supporting the stage managers and the thing. Now, on the July 1988, okay, this puppetry festival is held in Nagoya, Lida, and Tokyo. The stamp of stamp that shows 4 different puppets from left to right. See, the Japanese puppets can be in different ways. With strings from above, they can be operated. And inside the puppet, you put your hand and moving your hand. You don't know how they do, but it's beautifully done. Third is using by, fine wires or small thin rods. They move the thing, and with that, they also move the puppets. The 3 styles are there. So Takeda Puppet Troupe is the one that's pretty famous in Japan. They're there. And then Zekoseviklin Zek puppet is the second one. And then third one is the shadow puppet of China. And then last one is the Italian puppet of Palermo in Italy. That's the 4 puppets, very beautiful stamp that's been in Saturn end. All the 4 linked together by the perforation, comb perforation. And I also found very interestingly, there's one more stamp on puppetry. That is a small Japanese town between Nagano and Nagoya. Lida was a city of traditional theater. 2 temples have long held puppet performance. Most of the puppet performances are held at the temples during the temple festival with traditional stories, and one in April on the spring festival. That's a Kuroda puppets. The one is Limada puppets in October. The modern Lida Puppetry Carnival was created in 1979 to celebrate the Year of Child. So the Saturn stamp of the right was released for the Puppetry Festival in Nagano on 17 July 1997. This other stamp that is there. The one that is on top is 1988. Now, this is again a very beautiful thing. Kanto Matsuri in Akita. Kanto is the lamps mounted on bamboo poles. The bamboo poles are very thin, they're very flexible, and people carry them in their palms, on the shoulders, on the forehead, everything with a full load of this 24 lamps on top. And in the evenings, you can see on the left-hand side, they're all lit with some sort of a candle or something inside. With that, people take it, and people are very proud to show their thing. The right-hand side is in the daytime they do this. The right-hand side picture was taken by me when I went to see what is happening on the Kanto. Okay, and then not 24, 46 paper lanterns, and all secured on bamboo stick. The main event of the festival, the night parades, are held nightly along the Chuodori. Chuodori is the main street of the city. The various performing groups carrying nearly 250 kilo weight Kanto poles. When signal is given, the poles are still raised on one, and the performance show off their skills. That is how this is happening. It's a beautiful stamp, and then it is in a place called Akita. I showed people welcoming with the music from the Japan Railways. That is in the place Akita. Now, there is a festival called Holland Festival. You must say the Japanese. This is released on 19th April 1989. Okay. Now, if you know, at that time, Japan was under Edo shogunate, and it has closed its doors for almost 300 years to outsiders. The only place where it opened up was down south in Kyushu in Nagasaki. That's the only port that was open to people, and mostly it was the Dutch who came in there to do their business. Since 1947, The Holland Festival is the leading international performing arts festival in Netherlands. The festival features establishing names as well as new talents, showing innovation in art, exploring new types of venue and forms of theatre. In 1609, the trade between Holland and Japan started. To commemorate the 380 years opening the trade between the two countries, various events like symposiums, seminars, exhibitions were held. The purpose of the festival was to further develop understanding and strengthen the relationship between the two nations. The stamp shows the vibrant atmosphere. You can see on the left-hand side is the stamp. This is a first day cover on the right-hand side bottom. Okay, the stamp shows very beautiful, vibrant atmosphere. In the ukiyo-e style, maybe next week we will be talking more about ukiyo-e. It's a woodblock print. This is Nagasaki. It has got its own peculiar style of ukiyo-e, and which is the only port that was open to foreigners during that time because the rest were all closed and nobody was permitted to leave or come inside. Nagasaki was the only one that port was open, and that was the one. So for the Holland Festival, commemorating the 300 years, this stamp was released. Now, Omagari Fireworks Festival, the stamp was released on 7th February 1990. Omagari in Daisen, Akita Prefecture, has long been very popular place for fireworks. It's a firework national level competition, firework competition there. From all over the pyrotechnicians assembled there, everybody wants to show their own talent, skills, innovation, creativity, so many things. For pyrotechnician, Omagari Festival displays the special status. Around 300 fireworks, 30 fireworks specialists from all over Japan chosen for their skills in the art. Participation is limited to those very high-level skills only. Not everybody can. And this is supposed to be the pinnacle of firework displays. Then we have the Lantern Festival at Maguchi. Okay. That is in the month of July. On 7th, 1992, this stamp was released. It's a traditional festival covering over 500 years and inherited from Obon lanterns. Obon lanterns of Oichi family. 10,000 red lanterns cover the streets with magical light, and many events are held as well as. It's beautiful, the whole. So you can see the actual photographs down below. Women and men parade carrying palanquins of lanterns and enliven the streets of Yamaguchi with enthusiasm. Each year, on August 6th and 7th, Yamaguchi Prefecture goes above and beyond the giant floats with bright red lanterns and hundreds more lighting up the city. The Chochin is the name of the lantern that we have. So that's why if you see some of the eating places, they have a red color Chochin will be there. So they say Akai Chochin is the place where you can go and have some food on. In the festival name refers to the traditional red lantern that is seen all throughout during the festival. The timing of the festival is not based on the current calendar. It states that Anabata falls on July 7th, but it's all from the ancient Japanese calendar. And then there's a festival called Ohara Festival. Okay, this is an interesting festival, Ohara Festival. The stamp was released on 1st September 1993. Ohara Matsuri is a dance festival. You can see down below, people are all dancing with a beautiful costume, right? Another group is dancing. The whole city goes on dancing. Okay, and it's kind of in southern Kyushu called Kagoshima. Kagoshima is the tip of Kyushu, almost tip of the southern Kyushu, and dancing in unison to traditional music such as Ohara Bushi. Ohara Bushi is a popular tune of Kagoshima, and similar tunes for which people dance. The Ohara Festival, with more than 70 years of history, is the largest festival in southern Kyushu. The highlight of the festival is the dance to a popular Kagoshima song called Ohara Melody. This spectacular Soodori features more than 20,000 dancers in costumes of different theme colors. You can see two different themes. And then 2-day festival starts in the evening on November. And some of the people dance with sochu. Sochu is a drink, alcoholic drink made in that place. Kumajochu, what they call it, is very famous. You can see down below. I said there's a Shochu road is there. The Shochu is given like this. And it's a very nice drink. Okay, next is the Great Tug-of-War Festival of Okinawa. It was issued on 1st August 1994. Large-scale tug-of-war. Look at that thing. Or traditional hallmark of Okinawan festival, originating as a ritual to pray for beautiful harvest, sound health, and fertility. Naha is the capital of Okinawa. Great Tug-of-War first started around 1,450 years. Reintroduced in 1971 as a part of Naha's 50th anniversary. Guinness World Record certified the event as the world's largest tug-of-war. You can see people all over the place. And then the rope is 200 meters long and weighs 43 tons. People, you can even see people standing on top of the thing. It continues to be an opportunity for the community to pray for the prosperity and peace. Once the event, the battle is finished, they all cut the rope into small pieces and take it to their homes for good luck. Now, Nagasaki is another Kyushu island on the other side. There is the Fukushima is down south. This is more on the eastern, should I say? So yeah, okay, on the upper side of the thing. And this is released on 3rd October 1994. Nagasaki Kunchi is a festival of Suwa Shrine. Suwa Shrine is another very big, beautiful shrine held annually in Nagasaki in October 7 to 9. The festival has been celebrated for 40 years. Different aspects of Thai, Chinese, and Dutch cultures, because that's a place Dutch has been coming and going. So Dutch culture has been already mixed up with that. That's why you can see the people pulling the ship, because that's shape, trade, everything was there. The festival name is believed to have come from the Kunichi, that is 9th day, on the 9th day of 9th month of the lunar calendar. It began as a celebration of autumn harvest in the late 16th century and became a shrine festival, and Shiva Shrine was founded in 1642. Another purpose was to check for hidden, this is a very interesting thing. Those days, Christianity was banned. Okay, so anybody who was Christian, they were searched, found, and then they were executed. Another purpose was to check for the hidden Christians what was banned on Christianity. This is still evident even today in the custom called garden showing, when the presenting neighborhoods open up their homes for the public scrutiny. Though there's today no such ban on Christianity, the tradition, okay, you come home and search. You come to my house, that's the idea. The most famous dragon dance of this festival is originally performed New Year Eve by the Chinese residents of Nagasaki, which is still there as a part of the Kunchi. And then Osaka Danjiri at Kishiwada. So these pictures are also taken by me when I went there. This 300-year-old tradition, Danjiri Matsuri. Some beautiful wooden floats, and then people just saw them at the tremendous speed around the streets of Kishiwada. Then we've got 34 neighborhoods who all come back to compete by manually pulling their 4-ton Danjiri today. They go with a tremendous speed. The festival began in 1703 when the daimyo of Kishiwada prayed to Shinto god for an abundant harvest at Fushimi Inari, Taisha, Kyoto. Inari is the fox, which is supposed to be a god's representative. So there's a Inari shrine in Kyoto. So Shinto gods have all these things. So, and it showcases the work of each district best carpenters. Again, anytime they are involved, it's a beautiful example of Japanese monozukuri. Monozukuri, as I told you, is a craftsmanship, excellence in manufacturing. The most exciting, at times notorious part of the event is many yarimawashi. I've seen with myself, the streets are very narrow, but they'll turn the streets at great speed, and still there'll be people standing on top and dancing. That's a very interesting thing. Then Karatsu Kunchi Festival. This is on October 3rd, 1995. Karatsu is Saga prefecture. Saga is very famous for their high winds, though their Saga festival has got a big kite festival also there. Has been holding as an autumn festival to celebrate bountiful harvests If you see most of the things, I'm showing a mixture of religious festivals, non-religious festivals, which have had a traditional more than 1,000 years, within last 300 years, 400 years, there's a mixture of them. Now, Karatsu Kunchi Festival is a massive 3-day parade at the beginning of November featuring huge 14 floats in November, known as Hikiyama, being Hikiyama. Yama is mountain. Hiki is pulling mountains, moving mountain, being pulled through the town, eventually from the Karatsu shrine in Nishino Beach. The floats include a killer whale and the legendary Urashima Taro, a fisherman who was Japan's version of Rip Van Winkle. The event attracts 5 lakh people. By 1876, the other towns have created their own Ikiyamas, and one after another, with a total of 15 Ikiyama, Karatsu Kunchi become a great event. Now, this is again a very interesting thing. I've given 2 photographs, one black and white of a yesteryears, and then how it is today. Ushibuku Haya Festival is, the stamp was released in April 1st, 1996. The song is like this. Okay, the fishing boats left this morning with the wind of hay, southern wind. How far will they go? Is what they sing and dance for that thing. The beginning of the song expresses how much the women Ushibaka is the harbor town, worry about sailors. Ushibaka Hayabushi. Bushi is the song or the music is said to be originated in the later Edo period. At this time, Ushibuka was an important port in sea travel, and lots of fishing vessels called at the port. Now, at the port, the sailors and the women of Ushibuka enjoyed dancing and singing together, and it is said to be the origin of this thing. So the sailors, when they travel to other ports within Japan, they all carried the same song, and then so this Ushibuka become a Ushibuka song. Haya Festival became very popular, famous. Now this is something very interesting. It is not a regular festival, but I found the stamp under festival. So I was wondering what is this festival about. I was looking at. This is from the Kanagawa Prefecture, issued on 13th October 1995. Direct historical material related to Tamagaki are limited to Tamagaki letter, or you say note letter in Toji Hayaguko monument. According to the literature, what I found, Tamagaki is the girl who's sitting down and writing the letter. She took care of the priest Yusei of Toji. Toji is that child who was slaughtered by Toyoka's relatives who lived in the adjacent territory when he relinquished his surname Toyoka. So Yusei left his family name, so he was murdered. A letter requesting his relics to Toji. Toji is that place where they were there. It's a Tamagaki letter, which can be said to be a rare historical material, nationalized autograph letter of medieval rural woman. This is the site of the former residence of Fukushima Panel Department, her birthplace, where there is a Tamagaki monument, which is you can see, and that's a letter written by her on the top. Then we have the Hawamori Nebuta Festival. Hawamori Nebuta Matsuri is a Japanese summer festival that takes place in Hawamori. In Hawamori is in Akita Prefecture, Tohoku region. And Nebuta refers to the front of a brave warrior figure, which is carried through the center of the city, with dancers wearing a very unique type of costume called Hanatoyen, a different type of headgear. And they go around dancing, shouting, singing or chanting Rasera. Rasera is a shorter version of Irashai. That means welcome to join us. There's a music band going with every group that goes around. And then the Hawamori Nebuta, there was also one more stamp that was released. And down below, you can see at the center, I was there. So I was wearing that cap and standing there in front of a Nebuta, and then took a picture of mine. Okay, that's a main street when they're all pulled into the thing in the night. They're all got lights inside, and then people down below, they push, and then they can just turn them on the wheels. It's a beautiful scene to see. And the main street thing, And then you can see now many of the stamps are also coming with a QR code. There's a QR code. And maybe that is for them to, the post office, when they start issuing, they check the QR code. So accounting becomes very easy. That's what I think. I really don't know why this QR code is for. So, and then Tottori is again on the northern side and more towards the western side. That's on the up north. They have a festival called Shanshan Festival. This was issued on 1996, 16th August. Tottori city is colorful Shanshan Festival. Festival in mid-August is a part of the area's Obon celebration. Obon is what they all pray for the time when the ancestors' spirits are supposed to come back to their native thing. People in the thing, they welcome the ancestor spirits, and after the festivities, they also see the ancestors go back to their heavenly abode. Okay, it's a Japanese Buddhist custom of honoring the spirits of one's ancestors. People return to their hometowns from all over Japan for a few days to clean the. So it will be very difficult even to get tickets in the Shinkansen at that time. Family graves and take part in various ceremonies. The Shanshan Festival Bon Odori, Obon dances known as Kasa Odori. They dance with the Kasa is umbrella dance. The name Shanshan is based on the Omanopedia, but the sound of bells, the bells are attached to the Kasa. So when they turn around and then move, the bells also make noise. So that's why it's called. Then this is again a non-religious festival, Saito Kinan Festival in Matsumoto city in Nagano Prefecture. The stamp was issued on 22nd August 1996. Saito Kinan Festival in Matsumoto, which is since 1992. It's not very long history, it's a short history. Under the direction of the world-renowned conductor Seiji Ozawa, has been held. That's a logo of that thing. Held every year in summer in Matsumoto, Japan. Has been renamed into Seiji Ozawa Matsumoto Festival, OMF, since 1915. Saito Kinan Orchestra, SKO, which formed the basis of SKEF, remains the core of OMF, welcoming well-known classical conductors, musicians, opera actors, all this. So to commemorate that, this stamp was issued. So I just want. Then Shirone Kite Festival. You can see large kites have been made. It's a unique festival. This stamp was released on 14 May 1999 in the Niigata Prefecture for Niigata Prefecture. So prefectural stamps released into the regional stamp. The unique festival features a battle between approximately 300 massive kites, each approximately 5 meters by 7 meters size. The origins date back to some interesting story on this, if you see, to some trouble that started in Edo period. When celebrating the completion of a construction project, reinforcement of embankments of river, a kite flown by Shirone residents fell into the fields of the opposing bank, damaging the crops of the West Shirone side. Angered by the damage, the residents of West Shirone struck back by crashing their own kite into Shirone's side of the river. Okay, this way it's said that a new tradition was born. Okay, an unintentional act gave rise to this celebration. Today, giant kite battle starts with the two teams on either side of the river raising their kites and then deliberately entangling them. That is they go into a deal or pulling each other. Once the kite falls into the river of the two teams, then engage in a tug of war until one team's kite rope snaps. Okay, it is an impressive sight to see 305 by 7 millimeter kites take to the skies in the battle. Once the kites plunge into the river, tug of war begins at the earnest. Now, Sendai Tanabata is again a Tohoku region, one of the three major festivals. Okay, and then that's a symbol of Sendai. You can see the Kamon statue, and then the mini sheet is on that side. These are all the. I've also shown Earlier also Anabata, and then talked about the story of the Viva Princess and Shepherd Prince. So same thing. The festival starts right from the railway station onward. Whole city gets festival. Then the big lanterns are hung from all over the place. Then we have a Sapporo Snow Festival. The date of issue of this full-size stamp, beautiful stamp. Again, this is what you call, you peel the stamp and then paste them if you want to use the stamp. Down below are the stamps. Okay, they're called self-adhesive stamps. This is Sapporo Yukimatsuri years during once a week, every February in Hokkaido, capital Sapporo. It is one of Japan's most popular winter events. The Sapporo Snow Festival was started in 1950 when high school students built a few stone statues in Odori Park. It has since developed into a large commercialized event. So this is again a 1950, very recent event. It's more a social event than a religious event. Okay? Featuring spectacular snow and ice sculptures to exhibit one's skill and innovation, and attracting more than 2 million visitors from Japan and across the world. It is held in 3 sites in Sapporo. And then this is my favorite festival in Tokyo called the Sanjaya Matsuri. The stamp was issued on 12th January. Sorry about the typing mistake. That's my mistake. In 2000, there are 2 stamps I'm showing you. The one on the top is a Matsuri stamp issued on 12th January 2000. The second one is the temple where the festival is held, called the Asakusa Kamon Temple. There they have the called Kaminarimon Gate, where you have a big lantern hanging. The Sanjaya Matsuri is known as one of the 3 great Shinto festivals in Tokyo, along with Kanda and Sanno Festival, and takes place on the 3rd week in May. Over the course of 3 days, Mikoshi portable shrines, which I've shown, are taken alongside these parades are musicians, dancers, and other performance of traditional clothes. The Sanjaya Festival is held from 1312 in honor of Sanja Sama, but this only took place every year in March until 1649. It's a powerful cultural tradition that has taken place over the best part of 1,000 years, being celebrated by the Ujiko. There's a big business community in that around the temple. There the people are. In 1951, Asakusa Shrine was designated as an important national cultural asset. A few photographs of Sanjaya Matsuri when I was there for this Sanjaya Matsuri. All these photographs are taken by me. Sanjaya Matsuri is a mesmerizing event of tradition and teamwork, exhibiting coordinated action of excellence. The entire community enthusiastically participates in organized festival where heavy mikoshi is carried and jolted by mikoshi bearers, as it is believed gods in the portable shrines they like being jolted as the procession takes place. The mikoshis change hands on the way between groups that avoid for the ceremony of changing, like between India and Pakistan, the border guards changing. It's a big ceremony like that. They all wait. You can see on the top right, the next batch is waiting for the mikoshi to come. Once there have the music band going, people carrying with the enthusiasm. Then all the mikoshis end up at that temple. So that's about it. And thank you for your joining today. I will see you all next week. Thank you very much.